Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa, and we are so excited to have Austin Dunham on the show. Of course, you might recognize him. He's an incredibly famous Insta YouTuber, like entrepreneur, influencer.
Yeah.
Tell us about your journey to becoming the social media superstar that you are.
Yeah, so I have a pretty long story, honestly. Ever since I was about 13, 14 years old, I've always been interested in sharing what I'm doing online, including YouTube. So at the time, I was making like video game YouTube videos on like Flash games. But then my freshman year of college, which was 4 years ago now, I decided to get into fitness because I was involved in what's called the Air Force ROTC program. Mm-hmm. And within that program, we had to do push-ups, mile-and-a-half run, and I was pretty bad at it. So basically what I wanted to do is increase my push-ups and get bigger, because I was naturally a skinny guy growing up. And so I discovered what's called a calisthenics, which is a training style where you train through just your body weight instead of using an external load like weights, barbells, dumbbells. And I got really good at it, and I started posting videos about that, made a transformation video about it, and kept doing it, and here we are today.
Wow,
So
I love that.
Story, yeah.
I love that. It was a great story. So what's been, usually people have something that's been a little difficult for them. What do you have a personal story around your challenges of coming to here?
Like getting to where I'm at today?
Yeah.
I would say the challenges is staying consistent, because that's the biggest thing. That's been a challenge. With fitness, a lot of people, they start 2, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, whatever, and then they give up.
I know nothing about that.
Yeah, everybody has done it,
It's like I'm so bad.
And we see it with the New Year's resolutioners, how the gyms are so packed January, February, and then third month is like a ghost town. So I would say consistency and just keeping myself motivated and driven throughout these past 4 years.
And we found that the why is usually what keeps people motivated. What's your why?
My why is I just want to inspire, teach people, and motivate people. And I love teaching people, I love entertaining people, and I love showcasing what I'm doing. And so when I get to have fun with my passion, and I get to inspire and teach people, then it's a no-brainer for me. So
super
I love
cool.
that.
So it's one thing, of course, to be so super fit. It's another thing to create a business out of that and turn it into a situation where you're able to influence like thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people. What's been the secret to you doing that well?
So I do have a business, and the way I discovered that is basically not starting with that business mindset. So it was just pure out of fun and passion, just sharing content. And then I discovered that I could have a business model out of what I'm teaching, and it started by people just messaging me asking for workout programs. So I would message them back, and I would create $20 custom workout programs at the time. And I'll be on my computer all day just grinding, making these programs. And then I started doing some market research, and I figured out how I can scale it, how I can, reach hundreds of thousands of people all at the same time instead of having my own time and creating these monotonous workout programs. And once I did that, and I did that market research, and I discovered the processes and systems on how I could do that, that's when it really started to take off for me from a business standpoint. Yeah.
So usually there's like a membership, or you go in with products like sponsorship. So have you done both, or just strictly the membership model?
Right now I'm doing both, because as you grow, sponsorships naturally come, and they just happen to be people that you actually like and already have used. But right now I do both. But the most lucrative, I would say, is like a membership model where you can offer value to somebody. For me, it's fitness teaching and learning, and they receive the information and they're happy. We're happy.
Yeah,
We're both happy.
I love that.
So you've mastered fitness, now you're foraying into fashion.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Tell us about your new brand.
Yeah, so I just started a new brand, which is based out in London. It's called Forged London. And what this company is a minimalistic, affordable, aesthetic style jewelry for men and women at the time. And we just launched literally 3 days ago. And it's been doing really well.
Congratulations.
Why aren't you wearing it? Where is it?
I was gonna wear it, but I decided to show the upper chest a little bit.
He's been doing a lot of push-ups,
Right.
Yeah.
Influencing is interesting. I just went over to Amanda Russell, who's a family member here at ever talk, and she is a professor over at UCLA and talks about influencers. And it's really fascinating because what people think will translate into sales for certain people is not necessarily the case. Like you could sell workout clothes and it might transcend to that, it might not. Why did you pick something like jewelry? Did you like test it out a little?
Yeah, so I've started a few startups in a lot of spaces, mostly in the workout space. So I've done, the workout programs. I've been involved in workout equipment, workout clothing. I just feel like jewelry is something that is just so unique and creative, and it's still something that my audience can relate to, because a lot of people do ask me for style advice or just overall looking good, besides just their body. And so it was once again,
Natural.
a no-brainer. Yeah.
Tell us about the relationship you have with your audience, with your fans, with your followers, and is there anything that you don't share with them?
My relationship with my audience, they pretty much know everything about me, believe it or not. I try not to share too many like personal relationships, because I've noticed I have in the past, and the audience really gets involved in it. So if anything was to happen to it, then
Yeah, not good.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
waste some time on that
exactly.
stuff, right?
Right. So, but besides that, I'm pretty open with them. If I'm going through something, I'm pretty vulnerable with them. They know about it. But for the most part, we're like friends. When I meet them in person, they literally feel like they know me.
What's that like for you?
I don't realize it at first, but when you think about it, all this content that I've posted the past 3-4 years, it makes sense really. And it's a bit inspiring to know that I have inspired somebody who's literally watched me grow up from since I was 18 to now, and they're motivated by it, so it's pretty cool.
So how would you handle that? Say you're dating somebody that's new and you're like, look, I just don't share that part of myself until it's like a ways into it. Is that the conversation that you have?
With myself now, yeah. So if that was to happen again, then it wouldn't be shared until it's like,
Yeah.
kind of like me introducing somebody to your parents.
Yeah,
like,
totally,
you don't.
right? You don't have to do that.
That's a very
Yeah.
good analogy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I keep that the same with social media.
Yeah.
But
I
people
love
ask
that.
all the time,
That's hilarious. I like that.
Yeah.
What would you say is the greatest business lesson you've learned along the way?
There's so many. One, have a great product. Like, don't take shortcuts, and really make sure that you're passionate about what you're selling and your why behind it. And I think that's the biggest one. Yeah. It really comes down to simple steps and just having a passion for what you're really selling, and the knowledge behind it and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's hard to be persistent, or impossible to be persistent in some cases if you're not passionate, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing. If I was to get into YouTube or creating these workout programs just for money, and I'm not really into it, then it's going to be a short-term game.
Yeah, totally.
Like, even people nowadays ask me, how do I start a YouTube channel? Or can you make money through YouTube? And I know that they're not going to last long in it, because one, they don't have a passion for actually creating videos and sharing content, because they just want it for money. And I've seen it a lot of times how it's not long-term for them.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a quick question about that. If somebody, let's say, started a YouTube channel today, okay, and they were passionate about it, how long might it take for them to finally see any real profit from that? Just on average, based on your experience.
On average, I say make at least 100 videos, however long that might take you. So if you post 2 videos a week, I'm not good at math. One video, one video a week, however long. But I say, like, to the point of 100 videos, you can pretty much gauge how successful you're going to be on YouTube. But sometimes not even then. The biggest YouTubers out now, some of them posted a ton, and they had one big break with this one single video.
Right.
And that's all it takes nowadays too, is just having that one viral video. And after making 200, 300, and you can go crazy with it.
Love it.
Love it.
Well, tell people where they can find and follow you.
Yeah, everywhere, YouTube, Instagram, Austin Dunham, Dunham, or just search on Google, you'll find something.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Thank you so
Yep.
much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Austin.
Appreciate it.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.